All right, Mark DeLeese here, and I have really something exciting and new to show you. As you know, I have already integrated in the IPN lead syncs that anytime there's a transaction at JVZoo or ClickBank, you can register them to many different platforms and systems in there. But that was only during a transaction at one of these places like ClickBank or JVZoo. I have now added this same support that you had for a transaction to a simple opt-in form. And this is done by when you go to campaigns and you click on add campaign, you bring up step one. And I'm going to call this the opt-in monster campaign. They're right there. Okay, opt-in monster campaign. It's going to be a pop-up. Now you can choose a pop-up or a full page overlay or a footer bar or a welcome gate. This one's going to be a pop-up. It's going to be a two-step pop-up or a one-step pop-up. I'll just have a one-step pop-up. And so this is all the integration right here. I'll show you how this works. You click on add credentials and there's going to be a little pop-up that shows up. There's right there. And I'm going to call this, let's say for example, Aweber. Okay, Aweber. There you go. And I'm going to select Aweber. And when you click on load credentials, it's going to load the default credentials as well as the list. Now, if you have another Aweber account, you can manually put in the authorization code right there. But I've already set Aweber up in my default settings, so I just click on load credentials and all the credentials are loaded. Now, if you want to change the list, you just click on select list, another pop-up, and this is all my lists at Aweber, and I can select which one. Okay, I'm just going to select the one that's already the default, and I will click on add. There, that Aweber is now listed. I'm going to click on credentials again, and I can select, for example, I'm going to have it integrated to my wish list member. Okay, so they're going to be automatically subscribed to a membership area, and their login information is going to be automatically sent to them when they opt into a simple web form. I'm going to come down here and select on wish list, and I'm going to load the credentials. And all the information for a wish list with the API key is already set. Now, if I don't want this campaign or this membership level, I click on select list and all my membership levels will show up, and I can select a different one. See, that's all my membership levels of wish list, and I can select which one that I want to add. And I'm just going to select the default that is already set up. Okay, and it's the personal license. I'll click on add. Now I'm going to add another credential, and it's going to be not another autoresponder. I can add another autoresponder, but this one's going to be a webinar. Okay, and I have a number of different webinars. It can be a EverWebinar, it can be Webinar Jam, it could be GoToWebinar, but I'm going to pick, let's see here, for example, Webinar Jam. There you go, and I'm going to load credentials and select the list, and it's going to be, for example, maximum player. That's the title of the webinar, and I'm going to click on add. There. So I've created a configuration, and so when people simply give a simple opt-in on a web form, they're going to be registered to my Aweber list, to my wish list membership site, and to my webinar registration at Webinar Jam. And the membership script in Webinar Jam is going to be automatically sending them login informations and links and so forth, okay, as soon as they opt in. I'll click on continue, and here is where I can select one of my templates for this, and it can be, for example, let's just pick, for example, this one here. Okay, that one there, register for early bird. I need to change it a little bit, and I can say register. I'll just put register here. Okay, and I'll just give you this. Register here. It's that simple, and it's going to be a name and email, and so I'll put the name and email right there, and enter name. Yes, there, name and email, and I'll put enter first and last name. There you go. Here, there you go. That's all set up. So it's a live editor. You can see what's happening. And I can change this text here, but I'm not going to do that. And from here, I'm going to click on continue. And here I can set the animation of the pop-up. I can have it, zoom or bounce or whatever. I can have it fade in. And there's going to be a redirection of this say just going to be a thank you page for redirection after the opt-in. Is it going to be on a Shopify store as well? I can put my Shopify URLs right there. But here I'm going to have it show up when people click on a button. So here I'm going to put in a CSS selector, and I'm going to put, it's a CSS selector, so you put a period in there, and I'm going to call this one opt-in monster. All right, so that's the CSS selector, and I'll show you how this works. And all I need to do is click on Save Changes. And now I'll go to my WordPress, or you can go to any site, and for example, I am making a button, and you'll see now when you're creating a lot of these buttons here and what have you, you can do this manually, of course. I'm going to come down here, and there's a field called extra class name. But all you need to do is put in opt-in monster to match what I set up at CTA Monster. I can name this any word that I want, okay, as long as it's the same as in your settings here. And I simply just click on Save Changes. I come back to CTA Monster, and you get the embed code. You click on this little embed code link. You get that code, and you put it in your closing body tag on your site. Now, I've already done that. There's an added right here, okay, raw.js. I click on Update, and I will simply come and I will view this page. So again, this is how CTA Monster will turn a nice button into a two-step process. Click here to register now. If I click on there, a nice opt-in form pop-up will happen. So when I put in my first and last name right here, and I did that for the membership script, and my email address and click Get Started, I'm going to be registered in all the places that are listed on this campaign right here. And it'll show you the number of impressions and conversions for that button and everything. And so it's going to register to me to the Aweber, to the wish list membership area, and to a Webinar Jam registration. So this is the new feature on a simple web form. You can have multiple registrations all on one dashboard for easy doing. Thank you.